Adventurous kids explore with education and learning what a wildlife is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovering Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West. Adventurous kids, learning and fun. Adventurous kids!
Today I'm going to tell you about what causes day and night. Daytime is when you can see the sun from where you are, and its light and heat can reach you. Nighttime is when the sun is on the other side of the earth from you, and its light and heat don't get to you. At any moment, half of the world is daytime and half of it is at nighttime. We get a day and night because the Earth spins or rotates on an imaginary line called its axis. Different parts of the planet are facing towards the sun or away from it. It takes 24 hours for the world to turn all the way around. We call this a day. For a year, the length of the daytime in the part of the Earth where you live changes. It's longer in the summer and shorter in the winter. But what caused the Earth to tilt? Millions of years ago, when the Earth was young, it is thought that something big hit Earth and knocked it off kilter. So instead of rotating with its axis straight up and down, it leans over a bit. By the way, that big thing that hit the Earth is called Theia, which was a planet about the size of Mars. It also blasted a big hole in the surface. The big thing sent a huge amount of dust and rubble into orbit. Most scientists think that the rubble in time became our moon. As Earth orbits the sun, its tilted axis always points in the same direction. So throughout the year, different parts of Earth get the sun's direct rays. The Earth's axis is an imaginary line down the center of the Earth from the North Pole to the South Pole. As well as the axis, the Earth is also divided horizontally by an imaginary line called the equator. The half of the Earth above the equator, which includes countries such as the UK, USA, China, India, and Japan, is called the Northern Hemisphere. The half below the equator, which includes the countries such as Argentina, Australia, Brazil, South Africa, and New Zealand, is called the Southern Hemisphere. Although it is divided equally by these two imaginary lines, the Earth does not actually sit straight up. In fact, the Earth orbits the Sun on a tilt of 23.5 degrees. It's thanks to this tilt that the Earth experiences seasons. The Northern Hemisphere, for example, is tilted towards the Sun during the summer months, meaning longer days and hotter weather. During the winter, the Northern Hemisphere is tilted away from the Sun, meaning shorter days and colder temperatures. The imaginary line separating the eastern and western hemispheres is called the prime meridian. The prime meridian has a longitude of 0 degrees and goes right through Greenwich in London. The sun rises from behind the Earth in the east as sinks below the Earth in the west. The time when it appears is called sunrise, and the time when it disappears is called sunset. The length of time between sunrise and sunset is called daytime. The apparent movement of the sun across the sky is actually due to the rotation of our Earth. The sun always appears to rise in the east and set in the west, regardless of where you are on Earth. The Norwegian town of Torsamo has some of the most extreme day and night variations in the world. During the polar night, which lasts from November to January, the sun doesn't rise at all. The days then get progressively longer until the midnight sun period, from May to July, when it never sets. The extreme variation is due to Tormosa's proximity to the North Pole. In summer, the days are longer than they are in winter. In London, the longest day is about 16 hours and 39 minutes, and the shortest is 7 hours and 45 minutes. Because the equator is halfway between the North and South Poles, the days are much more consistent in terms of length and don't vary much from 12 hours of daylight, and there's also very little difference between the seasons. Because different parts of the Earth face the sun at different times, it's impossible to have a worldwide time zone. If we did, it would mean that for some places, 2 p.m. would be in the middle of the day, and for others, it would be the middle of the night. This isn't practical for a lot of reasons. For example, energy consumption, communication with other countries, and human sleep habits, to name a few. To combat this, the Earth is split into time zones, which each one designed to utilize daylight as much as possible. The Earth is divided into these time zones longitudinally, with each hour difference being roughly 15 degrees apart. The act of moving clocks forward or back is called daylight saving time because the aim is to get as much daylight out of a day as possible. Earth days are actually getting longer, just very slowly. Scientists think that about 1 billion years ago, days on Earth were around 5 hours shorter. The gradual increase of length is due to the moon constantly but slowly moving away from us and changing our rotation. Do other planets have day and night? Yes. All the planets in our solar system spin on their axis, so does our sun, and so they have day and night cycles. These are differences, however, in the length of day and night. The cycles are made even more complex by the tilt of a planet's axis and the rate of orbit. Some planets rotate faster than Earth, and some rotate slower. Mars has a day and night cycle similar to Earth. Mars rotates on its axis once every 24.6 hours. Venus turns once on its axis every 243 Earth days, which is only slightly longer than it takes for Venus to go around the Sun. Mercury's day and night cycle is more complex. Mercury rotates 1.5 times during each orbit around the Sun. Because of this, Mercury's day from sunrise to sunset is 176 Earth days long. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Adventurous Kids.
What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!